Hey guys, welcome back to Not Your Mama's Mindset. This is your host, Sarah Smith. And if you guys just heard, I was just talking about getting over the overwhelm. And now, hand in hand, these two episodes hold hands. They go right in line with one another. If you're listening to this one, you need to go back and listen to the other one first. But now I'm going to talk to you guys about Solitare and why alone time is so important for you, for your mental health, your physical health, your relationship with your husband and your kids and your business and your ideas and all of the things, you guys. It is so important to have alone time. And I totally attest that dating your husband is super important, but that's another episode at another time. And dating and having special time with your children is super important. And your family and your business, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But having alone time and solitaire is so important. Like the other day, like I told you guys on the last episode, sometimes I just sit by myself and enjoy the quiet, because sometimes you need that. You need just peace and quiet and just to let your body and mind breathe for a minute, right? Like, I am telling you guys, it is so easy to get overwhelmed. And when you do, the most useful thing that you can do is to just get away from it all and just give your mind a moment to breathe. And so sometimes, whether your solitaire time looks like meditating with a guided meditation off of YouTube, or just sitting there focusing on your breath, or a bubble bath, or going out shopping by yourself, or whatever it is, I'm not telling you guys that spending time with your friends and family and husband and business and whatever else you have going on is not important. I'm not saying that in any way. But sometimes the therapy that you need is so close to you that you didn't even realize it was there. Sometimes your best therapist is quiet. Sometimes your best therapy is in those moments alone with yourself. And I know that's kind of crazy to hear. You're like, what? Like, this therapist is charging like $400 an hour and you're telling me I can have it alone in my house for free? But seriously, like, I have done so much self-care and self-love and growing this year in 2018, and I have spent more alone time this year than I ever have. And you're like, Sarah, you have 4 kids that are young, like, and a business, and you're stay-at-home mom. Like, how do you have time to be alone? And I'm telling you right now, if I could do it, anyone can do it. And literally, it's moments, it's seconds and minutes that count. Like, it doesn't have to be a formal meditation for an hour or whatever. It can literally be that 1 minute that you get to go pee by yourself. I know it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't for me either. But sometimes it's that minute, or sometimes it's those few moments in the shower that you get by yourself where you can really just be intentional with those moments and feel the water hitting your skin and just breathe. Or you're driving in the car going somewhere and the kid's asleep, like right now. And sometimes it's in the simplest moments that you can have solitaire with yourself. You just have to search for them and open your eyes and mind to receive them. Like, the universe will deliver when you open up and ask. If you are open to receive, it will deliver. I realized this whenever I was so overwhelmed that I wanted to commit suicide. And literally all I needed to do was just sit down and organize my time, be intentional with my time, and just give my mind some space to breathe, right? Like, when you have time alone in solitaire, you can really just erase the mind fog and the mind fuzziness that comes with all those things in your mind, right? And in the last podcast episode, I told you guys plenty of different ways that you can just dump your brain and ditch the overwhelm and get over it and get all of those thoughts out of your brain. Like, sometimes that is the cause of the overwhelm, is just so many things crowding your mind, and you need to get it out and express it in some way. So when you're alone, you can do those things because you don't have a little 2-year-old grabbing all of your highlighters and writing on your walls or ripping your pages out of your journal. You can sit there and look up, like, check out my Pinterest. I have so many different resources in all of my different pages and boards for pinning. Check those out because, like, there are so many different questions that you can just sit there and reflect and ask yourself, and so many different meditations. And literally, sometimes if you don't have anything, you can just sit there in the peace and quiet and look around you. Like, look around you. You have so much that you are blessed with right now if you are listening to this. You have a phone or a radio or a computer that you're listening to this on. You have headphones, or look around. I mean, you're wearing clothes that are nice, that aren't holey and stinky. And I mean, look around at the nature that's in front of you, and the fact that you're sitting somewhere safe and you're not scared that you're going to get shot, or your children and you've been fed and you have water to drink. Like, there's so much to be thankful for. And sometimes it takes being alone and getting away from all the mind busyness to really put your gratitude goggles on and soak it all in and be thankful for it, right? Like, when life gets so busy that you're not even present in the moment and you're not being intentional with your time because you're just so busy rushing here and there, and you gotta get this done and you gotta get that done, like, then you're not, like, what's even the point? Like, life is meant to be lived and enjoyed and soaked up every single moment. I'm giving myself cold chills. That's when I know I'm pumping out some good stuff. Like, you have to be so intentional with every single moment of your life, and you can't do that unless you give yourself some space. And I know then the mom guilt kicks in. You're like, well, I'm so guilty that I'm spending 30 minutes on myself, or a weekend on myself, or whatever you want to say. Like, you guys, I just went to Georgia with 2 other girls for a whole weekend, and my boobs hurt because I was breastfeeding, and I just went on this trip. But I had to seize that opportunity, and it was so freaking good for me. Like, I had a girls' weekend, you guys. I didn't even do that in college, and I just did that as an adult. How freaking cool is that? So, like, and I know that's not solitaire, that's spending time with friends, but there were plenty of moments that I was able to just sit down in the peace and quiet and reflect, or journal, or read, or listen to a meditation, or take a shower without little screaming babies clawing at the door. Like, these are the moments that help redefine you and help you know, like, okay, well, these are the things that I'm so grateful for, and I love my kids to death. Like, you need that alone time so you can realize how thankful you are for your children. So just keep that in mind, you guys, as you're moving forward with your week. I release these on Tuesdays usually, so as you're moving on with your week, just realize that alone time is no reason to be guilty. It's something that we all need to take care of ourselves and to take care of our health. So use that time, use those moments and seconds that you have by yourself, or that you can find by yourself, and soak them in. Be intentional with those moments and use those moments to defog your brain and get rooted and present in the moment. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Talk to you soon.